Here we are, guys. It is 2021 now, and it is going to be freaking awesome for Halo fans this year, and maybe also very dramatic and very controversial. This year is truly unlike anything we've ever seen before, and a lot of events that would have showed Halo news last year are actually coming here in 2021. And I'm going to break down exactly when you can expect Halo news and what to expect at those events. And with the game being worked on more than any other Halo game in history, and with it being the most highly anticipated Halo game ever, this year has got a lot of surprises in store, certainly. But guys, before we jump into it, be sure to smash that like button so hard it turns blue, and subscribe. Join me on the Halo journey of following Halo for over 9 years, heading on to 10. Alright, let's jump into it. This video is sponsored by Audible. Start your trial with Halo Shadows of Reach, the full audiobook for 30 days. Link down in the description. Bonnie Ross, the head of 343, just said a couple weeks ago that 2021 will be a big year for the Halo franchise, and I think that's an understatement. At the start of every year, I like to talk about why the year is going to be great for Halo fans, but this one, well, let's be honest, I'm a little bit worried. Of course, it is going to be super crazy fun to see how everything unfolds and how the marketing and news and trailers and gameplay all comes out to us, but keep in mind, if anything like the past 6 years is going to be like this year, then I think it's going to be an emotional roller coaster too. There is a lot hanging over Halo Infinite right now. Microtransactions, development issues, potentially management issues, 343 working from home, new systems replacing old ones like the armor coding system, lack of transparency, and so on. But the cool thing is that we're going to see all of this exposed and exactly what the reality behind all of it really is, and if it actually has any impact on the game. And not only that, we're in this really unique, weird situation that has never happened before for Halo. Firstly, it's unprecedented that a Halo game is delayed. Alright, and on top of that, we have campaign gameplay already, and with everything that has happened in 2020, it only makes sense that things unfolded the way that they did, and the game has been in the works since mid-2015. So that's over 6 years of development by time that the game releases, which is going to be around November 15th, 2021. So in addition, the game has been leaked as being content complete. That means that 343 is in this situation where that the game is pretty much done, but on a technical level, there is a lot to polish and fix, and they're probably going back and reworking some of the story, maybe some of the characters, some of the dialogue, things like that, I suspect. But the details on this are spare. What is being done right now and what isn't? Besides the July reveal demo and on a technical level, how things just did not look that great to most Halo fans, well, those things have already been fixed or are being fixed right now. And how that is going to be demonstrated and expressed in this year is going to be interesting. How 343 makes a comeback and shows Halo Infinite after it's had all these repairs and fixes. And I think ultimately delaying the game was the right choice. I mean, thank heavens they did, but I think it introduced another major problem, a psychological problem for Halo fans, and that is expectations. Not only has expectations been higher than ever, again, after everything I said here, but the game was delayed a full year. Alright, technically 13 months. And Bonnie Ross just clarified that Halo has reached numbers recently that near of the Halo 3 days, which is phrasing I've never seen before. Basically, alright, listen here. Halo is primed to explode and be the king of gaming again, but will it be a major flop or a major success? Don't get me wrong, alright, Halo 5 had a lot of good things about it, but I never considered that a game would be a major flop, or at least with Halo fans, a major flop until Halo 5 came out. But we've seen this all with other titles, most notably Cyberpunk 2077, where the game was in development for something like 8 to 10 years, and the game was delayed several times. There was this massive hype over the game, and for many, it's been a hot mess. But Halo Infinite has been controversial for a few reasons here, mainly that of the skin microtransactions costing $5 for rather plain color schemes on Spartans previously that were done in some respect for free before, and also development issues, which, by the way, that is most likely the case, but it probably links back to management issues. People headbutting each other, fighting about what should be done with the game, and maybe people that work at 343 that don't fully understand exactly what Halo fans want in the next game. And we've had this really big controversial thing go on for quite some time. It seems like every 6 months or so, a major, and I'm talking about a major person at 343 steps down, which is incredibly suspicious. It makes us wonder, were they fired? Why were they fired? What the heck is going on? Because we know there are development issues with this game. And also Tim Longo, also a narrative director and another lead, all leaving. All right, a narrative director leaving. And all this is basically got Phil Spencer saying it's nothing to worry about. This is good for the company. But I don't know. These are things that I'm thinking about moving into 2021 with. Like, I want to see, of course, what the game looks like and stuff. But on top of that, there's like this layer of anxiety that I'm feeling. And to top it all off, a lot of Halo fans feel like there is lacking transparency, and 343 has admitted this a few times. One time was recent where they actually confirmed that each month they'll dive into their vision of Halo esports. So we'll be getting Halo Infinite multiplayer esports news every month starting in January. And I hope that they do this with the game generally moving forward. Again, the content does not have to be big, but I'm sure they have hundreds, if not thousands, of concept arts that don't spoil the game in any way that would help feed the community and keep people's interest in the game. Because so far, I think the marketing for Halo Infinite has been a disaster. All right, the Megablok toy leaks, the Megabloks, like figuring out the story through Megabloks, has been just kind of annoying and overdone at this point, and I want to see some real stuff. And this year we are, for better or worse, we are going to see campaign gameplay, multiplayer gameplay, and if everything goes right, we will be playing the game this year too, because the beta, the flights were confirmed to be an actual thing coming this year. It wasn't before the delay, but yeah, it is actually coming. So there is a chance that we will all be able to play this game before it releases, and that I'm really excited for. And the window for that happening, I believe, is going to be sometime in early or mid summer. But speaking of dates, I want to talk about exactly when you and I can expect Halo news. Well, the big reveal I'll talk about first, the one we're all thinking about, is E3, all right? So The Verge recently confirmed that E3 2021 is actually going to happen, all right? It was canceled in 2020, but it's going to happen on June 15th to June 17th. And Microsoft undoubtedly is building a lot around this event as usual. Before 2020, this was always a big time for Halo to get a teaser, for a trailer, for gameplay. And of course, last year they kind of had to make their own E3 because of, everything that's happened. But I think we are returning to some kind of normal in the Xbox Series X and PS5 consoles. They really haven't made made it into the hands of most consumers and people that want it. But on the flip side, there's really not many exclusives that make these consoles really worth putting down money that people might be struggling on with right now at this moment. So when people getting their jobs back, getting their hours back, and making money again, as we return to some kind of normal, I think that it makes sense that this year is going to be massive, not only for Halo fans, but also people that are fans of any games releasing on these consoles, all right? This is going to be big stuff, and I think this year is also going to be a bit controversial, a bit classic. However, with the content drought movement that the Halo community has pushed for, including myself, I suspect that 343 is preparing some major news outside of the typical marketing agenda, just like they did a few weeks ago. Considering how 343 is so conservative with news, however, I suspect they don't want to show us any multiplayer gameplay until June E3 2021, right? Or after. Because remember, in 2020, they had planned to launch Halo Infinite early October and only decided to delay the game 2 weeks after the gameplay reveal. And what this means is that they had originally planned to market the entire game to show everything from gameplay to release only in 3 to 4 months, whereas usually it's about 5 to 6 months. And that's pretty big news, because right here, what are they going to do in 2021? And I think the content drought movement has helped push 343 and its leaders like Joseph Staten to understand a bit more about what people want in the community. But we're not going to have to wait that long for a few reasons. I think we're getting news in January, February, and March, but I'll talk about that later. But essentially, the biggest and most largest pump of news that we're going to get is going to be probably the New York Toy Fair, and that is going to be between May 1st and 4th, so about 4 months from now. And with this past summer, tons and tons of story details, armors, in-game assets, vehicle designs, and more were teased through Megabloks, all right, through their toys and their sets. And that is going to be a major event where Megablok shows off their stuff as usual. And on top of that, tons of leaks happen because of these damn Megablok toys, right? I mean, some even massive story clues were handed out according to 343's marketing agenda, so it wasn't really leaked, but, a major character death was teased in these toys, and it makes us wonder what the heck is going on, and I wonder what other major story details are going to be coming in early May. Another relevant event is Rooster Teeth's convention, RTX, which is occurring this year. In fact, it is happening, all right, July 9th to 11th, 2021. Rooster Teeth built their company off Halo fan series Red vs. Blue, and Bungie as well as 343 have always appeared to sign booths, to show off Forge. They have been known to let fans play Halo early, like Halo 4 before release, so this might be a perfect event for Halo Infinite to be playable to the public while insider flights are going on. And there is also GDC, Game Developers Conference. It is happening this year, July 19th to July 23rd, right? Which I would say personally isn't super likely that we will see anything. There certainly is a chance, considering that we know that the game is happening this year. Another big event is the San Diego Comic-Con, or SDCC, on July 22nd to July 25th. With the Halo TV show in the works, I think that this is a perfect time for Showtime to show us what they have. All right, I think that they will show some trailers. We know that they started working on the show once again, after everything struck in last March. But with, these past couple months, they have been working on the TV show again. They've been working on props, doing the recording, doing the motion capture, all that good stuff. So by this time, July, I think they will certainly have at least a trailer to show us, at least a couple clips, if not prepping for the full release of the TV show along the release of Halo Infinite, which I think would be perfect. So yes, most of these dates are far away. The soonest we'll get news at events is, officially, I think is very guaranteed, is in May, right? That's many months from now. But I don't think it's actually going to be that bad, and I'll tell you why. Because, look, I could be wrong about this, but I suspect we'll be getting regular news bi-weekly, or at least monthly, starting sometime in January. All right, we knew that there was a high-level update coming after the holidays, and that may have been the update that we got in December. We do know that the December 17th update was canceled, but not really the after the holidays one. So there might still be a high-level update and something that will explain what is going on. All right, 343 has been under a lot of pressure, not only from the Halo community, but also I've been pitching, I've been saying, why aren't they telling us anything? I hate being in the dark, and it sucks and no one likes it. So I think that they might have a high-level update that will tell us exactly what they got planned this year, when we can expect news, which would be absolutely fantastic, instead of us always guessing, always being paranoid when things are going to show up or not show up. Joseph Staten, all right, this guy's from, Bungie days, from working on the original Halo games. He joined 343 around August 2020. And I think that he has a lot to do with why we got this juicy update of Halo Infinite multiplayer news in December, right? They revealed armor, they revealed tons of stuff that they're fixing about the game, and a new multiplayer map and things like that. And I found this timing of the release of the information here very bizarre, right? 343 has been dead silent all year, and then this update came out, and something about it felt very bizarre to me. And I think it's because Joseph Staten stepped in, right? I think he's a smart guy, and I think he can read the community well. And I think he can also see that hiding information, irrelevant information, like, how the game looks, how, what they're doing right now, just not talking about the story stuff, but revealing multiplayer stuff, literally does no harm to the game. In fact, it helps pump the community up for future reveals, right? And I think that the hype train hasn't officially left, at least to 343's standards, but they did say when it's time the hype train to leave the station, we'll be sure we're on it with a briefcase full of information and screenshots. So they got a lot of stuff. They're choosing to stay vague right now, but when this stuff pops off, it is going to be massive, all right? The masses are going to be peeking into this, the Halo community has a chance to be revived here, but there is also a lot